Good morning students, welcome to today's class. So we have been discussing about chapter 19 fundamental operations, and last class we were doing exercise 19C. So there are two more questions in that exercise, so let's do that. So ninth question, find the product of in that fifth one. Fifth question, 5x minus 6y minus 7z and 2x plus 3y plus z. So you are multiplying here a trinomial by another trinomial. Okay, 5x minus 6y minus 7z is a trinomial and 2x plus 3y plus z is another trinomial. Okay, three terms it have. So while multiplying, you need to multiply each term of first trinomial by each term of second trinomial. So let's take first term 5x. 5x is multiplied by 2x, 5x is multiplied by 3y, 5x is multiplied by z. Okay, so 5x into 2x plus 5x into 3y plus 5x into z. So first term is over. Then plus next second term minus 6y. Before 6y the sign is minus, so you need to take minus 6y. So minus 6y is multiplied by 2x, minus 6y is multiplied by 3y, then minus 6y is multiplied by z. Okay, so plus minus 6y into 2x plus minus 6y into 3y plus minus 6y into z. Okay, then third term it is minus 7z. Okay, minus 7z minus 7z with the 2x, minus 7z with the 3y, minus 7z with the z, that you are doing here. So plus minus 7z into 2x plus minus 7z into 3y plus minus 7z into z. Okay, so every term of first trinomial, each term of first trinomial is multiplied with each term of second trinomial. Okay, now you can do 5x into 2x, that is 10x square. 5 into 2 it is 10, x into x square. Next plus 5 into 3 15, then x into y it is xy, so 15xy plus 5x into z it is 5xz plus minus 6y into 2x, that is minus 6 into 2 it is minus 12 yx or xy. Okay, so you can directly write xy, both are same, xy and yx, plus minus 6y into 3y. So minus 6 into 3 it is minus 18. Then y into y it is y square plus minus 6y into 1z, that is minus 6 into 1 it is minus 6, y into z it is yz. Okay, plus minus 7z into 2x. So minus 7 into 2 it is minus 14, z into x. You can write xz. Okay, xz and zx are the same. Plus minus 7z into 3y. So minus 7 into 3 it is minus 21, z into y it is yz or zy you can write, so yz, both are same, plus minus 7z into z. So minus 7z into 1z it is. So minus 7 into 1 it is minus 7. Z into z it is z square. Now you can write 10x square plus 15xy plus 5xz plus of minus it is minus 12xy plus of minus it is minus 18y square plus of minus it is minus 6yz plus of minus again minus 14xz, then plus of minus again minus 21yz plus of minus 7z square. Okay. So while grouping like terms, don't change the sign before the terms. Before each terms, what sign is coming, that you need to follow while arranging in like terms. Okay. So 10x square plus 15xy minus 12xy, that we can subtract. So 10x square, 15 minus 12 it is 3. So 15xy minus 12xy it is plus 3xy. Then 5xz minus 14xz. So 5 minus 14 it is minus 9. Okay. So xz will come. 5xz minus 14xz it is minus 9xz. Then minus 18y square minus 6yz minus 21yz. So these two are like terms. So minus 6 minus 21, that is minus 27. Minus 6 minus 21 it is minus 27. So minus 6yz minus 21yz it is minus 27yz. Then last minus 7z square. So this is the final answer. Okay. So up to this only for your quarterly examination. So study well. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Now let's revise from the first chapter. Okay. So first chapter it is number system. In this chapter you are studying about comparison of numbers. How to compare two numbers. So there are two rules for comparing numbers. That is the first rule, if the number has different number of digit, okay, the number having greater number of digit will be greater, or the number with a larger number of digit will be greater. The number having lesser number of digit or smaller number of digit is smaller. Okay. So you are given a 4-digit number and 3-digit number. Clearly a 4-digit number is greater than a 3-digit number. Okay. So that is the first rule. Now second rule, if the two numbers have equal number of digits. Okay, 2 4-digit number is given, 2 3-digit number is given, or 2 5-digit number is given. In that case, what you do? Compare the digit at the leftmost place. Okay, so the number with the larger digit at the leftmost place will be greater than the number with the smaller digit. Okay, so if the next one more option is there, in that one more choice is there. If both the numbers have the same digit at the leftmost place, means you can compare the second digit from the left. If the second digit is also same, means you can compare the third digit from the left. Okay, like that it will go on. So that is the two rules for comparing two numbers. Then you are studying using chart for comparing numbers. Chart means you can just write the number in horizontal boxes. Okay, so by using the rules for comparing numbers, you can easily compare numbers given in the boxes. Okay. Now next, to form the smallest and greatest number using given digits. A, when the given digit include 0. So some digits will be given including 0. First case, include digit 0. So including 0 is will be given. So from that digit you need to find the smallest and the greatest digit number. Okay, 6 digit, 5 digit, or it may be given in the question. Okay, so if 0 comes means it is easy to form descending, greatest number, that is arrange the given digits in descending order, you will get the greatest number. But while forming the smallest number using the digits, 0 will come first, but no number will start with the 0. So what to do? Write 0 in the second position and write the next smallest number after 0 in the first place. Okay, then you will get the smallest number. Okay, so that is the rule. If 0, when the given digit do not include 0 means you can arrange the digit in ascending order to form the smallest number, descending order to form the greatest number. Okay, so you can go through the exercise problem and use table form to compare the numbers in descending order. Like that question, it is important. Then forming digits without repetition, with the repetition, so you should know about that also. Then there are word problems based on this. So read the question and you have to find whether you have to do addition, subtraction, multiplication or division. So that you have been studying about this from your lower classes, so you can study it yourself. So next chapter, it is estimation. In estimation, you are studying about how to round off a number to nearest 10, 100,000, 10,000, etc. Next, you are studying estimation of numbers. So in that, estimate the sum to the nearest 10 means you have to round off the given numbers to nearest 10, then you need to find their sum. Okay, similarly, estimate the sum to the nearest 100 means you have to first round off the given numbers to nearest 100, then you need to find the sum. Okay, like the difference, estimate the difference to the nearest 1000, estimate the product to the nearest by rounding off each number to nearest 10. Like that, quotient, division also you can do like that. First, estimation means first you have to round off, then you need to find the sum, difference, product or quotient. Okay, then next comes the third chapter, number in Indian and international system. So you know the difference between Indian number system and international number system. So in Indian number system, it will be ones, the periods will be place values. First you must know ones, tens, hundreds, thousand, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh, crore, 10 crore. Okay, in that ones, tens and hundreds comes under one spirit, 1,000, 10,000 will comes under 1,000 spirit, lakh, 10 lakh will comes under lakh spirit, crore, 10 crore will comes under crore spirit. This is Indian number system. Then international number system, the place values are ones, tens, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, million, 10 million, 100 million, billion, 10 billion, 100 billion. Okay, so ones, tens and hundreds will comes under one spirit, thousands, 10,000, 100,000 will comes under 1,000 spirit, million, 10 million, 100 million will comes under million spirit, billion, 10 million, 100 billion will comes under billion spirit. Okay, so you must know how to write a given number in both Indian and the international number system. Okay, so we will put commas in numbers to separate the periods. Okay, the periods are separated using commas in numbers. Okay, then while reading the numbers, the digits in the same period will be read together. Okay, say digits in the same period. Here, this is Indian number system. So this is read as 74 lakh 56,123. So lakhs period is read together. Okay, then thousands period is read together. Then ones place, okay, is read together. Okay, like that. Similarly, in international number system, 7,456,123. So this is millions period, so 7 million. Then 456 we will read together because this is thousands period. Okay, so that is read together. Then 123 comes under ones period, so that is read together. Okay, so 7,456,123. Okay, so there are exercise problems, so go through that. Then fourth chapter, it is place value. Another name of place value, it is local value. Okay, so while finding the place value, you have to multiply the digit by its place value. Okay, so in this number 40,562, the local value of 5, so 5 is coming under hundreds place, so 5 into 100, that is the local value or place value of 5, that is 5 into 100, it is 500. Okay, the place value of 6 is in tens place, so 6 is multiplied by 10, that is the place value of 6, so 6 into 10, 60. Okay, so go through that. That much only. You need to know expansion also. Okay, how to expand the numbers, that is place, that digit is multiplied by its place value. Okay, so 35,000, its expansion is 3 into 10,000. 3 is coming in 10,000's place, so 3 into 10,000 plus, then 5 is coming in thousands place, so 5 into 1000, then 0. Okay, like that. Then largest and the smallest number, so that we know this pattern forming, just go through that. Then exercise 4b problems also, it is easy for it will be easy for you. I mean, you just go through that. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Okay, so we studied chapter 11, ratio. So the ratio of two quantities x and y means, I mean, both are same kind and the same unit is x by y. We have to divide first quantity by second quantity, that is the ratio of x and y, and is often written as x is to y. That is important. Okay, now while finding the ratio, both quantities must be of same kind. That is, if one quantity represent length means the other quantity must also represent length. Okay, if one quantity is represent mass means the other quantity must also represent mass. Then both must have the same unit. If one is in meter, then other must be also in meter. If one is in years, the other must be also in years. Okay, like that. Then by finding ratio, you can divide the first quantity by the second quantity. If the unit is not the same means you have to make the unit same. For example, 2 meter to 80 centimeter, unit is not the same. So you can, 2 meter means we can convert to centimeter. 2 into 100 centimeter, that is 200 centimeter. So you can find the ratio of 2 meter by 80 centimeter by writing 200 centimeter by 80 centimeter. Okay, then writing in simplest form, you will get the ratio. Okay, then converting into simple ratio, that is, if the terms of the ratio is given in fraction means we can convert this to simple ratio, that is, we can make the terms of the ratio in integers. Okay, so that is, first to convert the given fraction, mixed fraction to improper fraction. Okay, then you can multiply, a is to b, we can write it as a by b form. Okay, so here 7 by 2 is to 7 by 3 we got. So this is a is to b form, that we can write as a by b. Okay, so 7 by 2 divided by 7 by 3. It will be 7 by 2 whole divided by 7 by 3. So what we do, if we have to divide two fractions, we will take the reciprocal of the denominator and multiply with the numerator. So 7 by 2 into reciprocal of 7 by 3, it is 3 by 7. So you got 3 by 2. So the ratio is 3:2. This is one method. The other method is, after converting to improper fraction, look at the denominators. Okay, now find the LCM of the denominators. Now multiply each term of the ratio by that LCM. Okay, so here 2, 3. So 2, 3 LCM it is 6. So multiply 7 by 2 by 6, 7 by 3 by 6. Okay, you will get the same ratio. Any of the method you can use. Next, A is to B is to C. So we know that if the ratio for ratio is A is to B is to C, then the quantities, first quantity we can take as AK, second quantity is BK, third quantity is CK. Okay, where K is a positive integer, positive number it is. Okay, so if the ratio is 2 is to 3, we can take a 2k 3k as the original quantities. If the ratio of two numbers is 2 is to 3, then the numbers will be 2k and 3k. Okay, like that. Then to simplify ratio A is to B is to C, as we did for two terms, we can do here the same. First finding the LCM, then multiply the each term by that LCM, you will get the ratio. Okay, so in exercise 11A, finding ratio in simplest form, that is you just divide first quantity by second quantity. Okay, then write in simplest form. Divide the given ratio by their highest common factor. You will get the ratio in its simplest form. Okay, then find equality of two ratios. You can check that by finding two ratios. If the two ratios we got equal, means that two ratios are equal. If you got different ratios, if after simplifying, if you got a different fraction, means that two are different. Okay, then there are word problems based on ratios. So you have to read the question well, then you need to find the ratios to find the answer. Okay, next, to divide a given quantity in a given ratio, there is formula, that is if if the whole quantity is divided into two parts in the ratio A is to B. Let us take, okay, A is to B, general formula we are taking A is to B, then the first part is A by A plus B into the whole quantity. Okay, second part is B by A plus B into whole quantity. So here let's take example, the whole quantity is divided into 3 is to 4. So the first part is 3 by 3 plus 4, it is 7. Okay, 3 by 7 into the whole quantity. Second part will be 4 by 7, that is 4 by sum 3 plus 4, that is 7. 4 by 7 into whole quantity. Okay, using that you can find the answer. Okay, then there are problems based on that. Okay, then next, comparing ratios, that is if for any ratios A by B, C by D, two ratios will be given, you have to find whether it is greater, smaller or equal. Okay, so you have to cross multiply here. If AD equal to BC, means A by B equal to C by D. If AD is greater than B into C, means A by B is greater than C by D. If A into D is less than B into C, means A by B is less than C by D. Okay, so by using this rule, you can easily find which ratio is greater and which ratio is smaller. Okay, next it is increase or decrease in a given ratio. So two formulas are there. If the given quantity is increased in the ratio A is to B, then the new resulting quantity is B by A into the given quantity. Okay, then if a given quantity is decreased in the ratio A is to B, okay, so the new quantity will be B by A into given quantity. Okay, new quantity means from which quantity it is decreased or increased, that is the new quantity. Okay, then using that you can do the problems. Then next chapter it is proportion. Actually proportion means if two ratios are equal, means we can say that they are in proportion. So if you, in order to check two ratios, whether two ratios form a proportion, means you have to find the ratio separately. If that two ratios are equal, means then we can say that two ratios are in proportion, form a proportion. Then in proportion, you have to know this main thing: product of extremes will be equal to product of means. There will be four terms in a proportion: A, B. A is to B equal to C is to D. That is, two ratios are equal. Okay, so A, B, C, D are the terms of the proportion, and here B and C are called means and A and D are called extremes. Okay, so product of extremes, that is A into D, will be equal to product of means, that is B into C, in a proportion. If four numbers are in proportion, means A into D will be equal to B into C. Okay, so if 8 is to 12 equal to 18 is to 27. So we can say that 8 into 27 will be equal to 12 into 18. Product of means equal to product of extremes. Okay, then there are problems based on that. So go through that. Next it comes continued proportion. Continued proportion, we will take three terms only, that is A, B and C. So if three terms A, B, C are in continued proportion, then the condition is A is to B will be equal to B is to C. Okay, the second term of first ratio and the first term of second ratio will be equal in a continued proportion. This B is called a repeating term, and mean proportional between A and C is called the third proportional. Okay, so if you will be asked to find the mean proportional between, find the third proportion between, like that it can be asked. So you have to write in this form: A is to B equal to B is to C. First term, second term and third term you have to write in this order. Okay, so go through these problems. Next we studied chapter 18, fundamental concept of algebra. So you must know how to write a given statement in algebraic form and vice versa. Okay, that is where if a statement is, if an algebraic expression is given, you must know how to write that in statement form also. Okay, so next, constant and variables. Constant means it is fixed. Variable means its value is not fixed. Its value changes according to situation. Okay, all numbers will come under constant, and all alphabets will come under variables. Okay, then combination of a constant and variable is always a variable. Then comes term. Term means a constant, a variable, a product or a quotient of constant and variables. Okay, that can be a term. So 4 is a term, x is a term, 4x is a term, 3 by y is a term. Okay, a term is called a constant term if it does not contain any literals. Okay, if it contains only numbers, means it is called a constant term. Okay, then like terms means they have the same literal coefficient, xy, 5xy, minus 4xy. They are like terms. Okay, here minus 8x square y, 7x square y, 1.5x square y. You can see x square y. In all terms, you can see x square y. Here in all terms, you can see xy. So these are called like terms. Unlike terms means they do not have same literal coefficient. That is 6a. Example, we can take a 6a, 6ab, 6ac. So here it is a. Here it is AB, here it is AC. They are unlike terms. Okay. Second example, xy, 2xy, 2x square y, 2xy square. Okay. Here it is xy, here x square y, here xy square. They are unlike terms. Okay. Now algebraic expression, it is a collection of one or more terms and they are separated by each other by plus or minus sign. Okay. You must know one thing. Terms are separated by plus or minus sign. Okay, in this algebraic expression, this number of terms is only 1. Okay, multiplication, 5x means 5 into x. Multiplication does not separate the terms. Okay, 8xy square also contain one term. 3x plus 8z. it contains the two terms 3x and 8z. They are separated by plus sign. Okay, if plus or minus sign will separate the terms. Here it has three terms, 4x then minus y plus 7. So 4x, y and 7 are the three terms. Okay, now 7xy plus 2a by y minus 3z plus 8. Here 7xy is one term, 2a by y is another term, second term, 3z is third, 8 is fourth term. So 4 terms are there here. Okay, now algebraic expression monomial means if it contains only one term, it is called a monomial algebraic expression. Okay, two terms, if it contains two terms, it is a binomial. If it contains three terms, it is a trinomial. If it contains two or more than two terms, okay, it is called a multinomial. Then polynomial means all monomial, binomial, trinomial, multinomial, all will comes under polynomial. Okay, then product and factors means product 5xy, 5xy, we can split it as 5 into x into y. So 5xy is the product of 5x and y. Okay, 5x and y are the factors of 5xy, factors of this product 5xy. Okay, now coefficient means the remaining, any factor, group of factor of the product is known as the coefficient of the remaining factor. So let us take 5axy. In this, the coefficient of 5 is axy. Coefficient of axy is 5. Coefficient of a, it is the remaining factor 5xy. Coefficient of x is the remaining factor 5ay. Coefficient of y is the remaining factors 5ax. Okay, coefficient of xy, it is the remaining factor 5a. Okay, like that it will go on. Okay, so coefficient, it is two types, the numeral coefficient and the literal coefficient. Numeral coefficient means it contains if only number. If a factor is a numeral quantity, it is called a numeral coefficient. That is, in 3xy, the coefficient of xy, it is 3. So 3 is a numeral coefficient. Okay, then the coefficient of 3, it is xy. So it contains literal coefficient, I mean variables only. So that is a literal coefficient. And the coefficient of x, it is 3y. Okay, coefficient of x in 3xy, it is 3y. Here 3y is a literal coefficient. Combination of a number and a variable is will be literal coefficient. Okay. Next, power of literal coefficient, that is, here you have to know one thing, a into a means a square, a is raised to the power 2. A into a into a means a raised to the power 3. M into m into m into m into m means m raised to the power 5. These numbers are called exponents. Okay, here the in a square, a is called the base and 8 is called exponent or index or power. Okay, then polynomial in one variable and its degree. So if a polynomial contains one variable only, then it is easy to find their degree. That is, first find out the exponent of all the terms. So exponent of 4x square, it is 2 here, 3x raised to 5, it is 5 here, 8x raised to 6, it is 6 here. Exponents of all the term you are finding first. Okay, then find out the greatest exponent. Here it is 6, so the degree of the polynomial, degree of this polynomial, it will be 6. Okay, so that is easy. Now if it contains two or more variables, then how will you find their degree? First the terms, find out the terms, then you need to find the sum of the powers of the variables. Okay, so here first term, it is 3x, so the way the sum of the power, it is 1 only. 3x means 3x raised to 1. Now second term is xy square, so x raised to 1, y raised to 2. Okay, it is actually x raised to 1, xy square means x raised to 1, y raised to 2. So the sum of the powers will be 1 plus 2 equal to 3. Okay, here 8yz. 8yz means 8y raised to 1, z raised to 1. So sum of the powers will be 1 plus 1 equal to 2. Powers we are adding. Okay, now find out which is the greatest power. Here it is 3, so the degree of the given polynomial will be 3. This is in the case of two variables, if the polynomial contain two or more variables. Okay, sum of the powers of the variables we are finding. Next chapter, it is chapter 19, fundamental operations. In that you are studying addition of polynomials, subtraction of polynomials. Addition and subtraction, two method you are using, column method and a row method. Then here then comes the multiplication of polynomial. In that only one method you are studying, so study well. But multiplication of monomials, multiplication of binomials, multiplication of trinomials, then multiplication of monomial and binomial, monomial and trinomial, then binomial and trinomial, all you are studying here. Okay, so do it carefully. So all the best for your exam.